Using this one secret can solve any problem. While studying late one night, a young college student overslept. He rushed to his statistics class, arriving late. He jotted down the 2 problems on the board, assuming they were homework. A couple of days later, he apologized for taking so long and asked his professor if he still wanted the homework. His professor told him to throw it on his desk. He did so reluctantly because his desk was covered with such a heap of papers, he feared his homework would be lost there forever. About 6 weeks later, one Sunday morning at around 8 o'clock, he and his wife heard a banging on their door. It was his professor. He came in with the homework and said, "I've just written an introduction to one of your papers. Read it so I can send it out right away for publication." He had no idea what the professor was talking about. His professor went on to explain the 2 problems that he put on the board were unsolvable problems. They had plagued scientists for years. They could never solve them. This freshman, George Danzig, from the University of California, solved them in a couple of days because he thought they were homework and that everyone had to do it. Had George been to class on time, he would have heard his professor, Jerzy Newman, explain to the class that they were unsolvable. Since George did not have this perspective, he went ahead and solved them. A year later, when George began to worry about his thesis topic, Professor Newman just shrugged and laughed and told him to wrap the 2 problems in a binder and he would accept them as his thesis. How many of us in our home and work environments are labeling situations, problems, or people as unsolvable? How you think and what you think about have the greatest impact on your success, more than any other attributes or skills. Sure, you can argue the need for education, connections, or expertise, and you'd be right. These things are important, but they do not guarantee success. There are many broke and miserable educated people. There are heirs to fortunes who have squandered what took a lifetime to build. There are people born in the right time with the right connections who cannot seem to pull it all together. On the other side of the scale, there are countless people with poor education, with very few connections, starting with little or no money, that have made something of themselves. What is the difference? The way that they think. Your mindset is your greatest asset. Call to action. Mindset. Today, take the next 15 minutes and identify one problem in your business that seems impossible to solve. Call a trusted business associate and explain your problem to them. Ask them for their perspective and how to address your challenge. If you will do this activity, you'll be shocked to find out that someone with a fresh perspective has the solution.